Okay, we're going to create a confidence interval here. I'm going to let you read that paragraph about the sleep awareness study. Some important things we need to see. One, it's a random sample. There's 1,029 U.S. adults, and 48% reported that they often or always got enough sleep during the last 7 nights. Okay, this, ladies and guys, is my p hat because this is from the sample. This is from the sample. There is no p given here, but we're given a p hat. This is my n. That's how many people participated in our sample. And so we're going to identify the parameter of interest. Excuse me. My parameter of interest is always listed with p equals the true proportion okay, of all U.S. adults who reported or who said or who acknowledged, whatever you want to do, they always or often got enough sleep the past 7 nights. Okay, so now we're going to check our conditions, which we know the random 10% success failures. We're going to do a 98% confidence interval, and that's the reason why I gave us this 2.326 earlier. We're going to calculate the interval, and then we're going to interpret it in context. But to do that, I'm going to do it this way. Okay, I'm just going to slide that over a little bit. And I'm going to draw this big plus sign here, or coordinate plane, or whatever it is that you want to call it. We're going to use these values. I'm going to put the information I know here. I'm going to put my conditions over here. I'm going to put my calculations here. And this is just a graphic organizer to help you keep things organized. And then my conclusion here, and to make sure that you get everything that you're supposed to have. These are the important things. This is just generalization stuff. So the first thing we know is that p hat is 0.48. And if I have a p hat, then I have a q hat is 0.52, because these two added together, this plus this, has to equal 1. We know that n equals 1,029. And because I have an n and I have a percent, my p hat, we can find out how many people, let me clear that out of the way, we can find out how many people said this. So I'm going to go 1,029 times 0.48, and that gives me the number 493.92. Okay, 493.92, where we can have part of a person. So we can go either way on this, but I'm going to go ahead and go 494. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and here say this is U.S. adults. Let's put some right phrases with this. Let's see, what else do I want to put on here? Oh, we're doing a 98% confidence interval. So I need a Z star for 98%. And that is, again, 2.326. So that's my general information. Those are the things that I absolutely know. Okay, let's talk about our conditions. First one is randomization. And it said over here in the paragraph that it was a random sample of U.S. adults The second one was 1,029. It's the 10% condition. Is less than 10% of all U.S. adults. And that was ugly, sorry. Trying to cram that on one line. And then next is success failure. And so we do NP and NQ. Well, here on NP and NQ, we don't have P and Q, but we have P hat and Q hat. So we have to fall back and use that. So it's 1,029 times 0.48. And from our calculator earlier, we saw that as 49392, which is greater than or equal to 10. And then 1,029 times 0.52, which is, let's see, subtract that 535.08. And that's greater than or equal to 10 also. So our sample size is large enough. So we state the conditions are met. We're going to do a 1 proportion Z interval. Okay, a 1 proportion Z interval. So now let's do our calculations. Again, we know our calculations are this. Our confidence interval, excuse me, our confidence interval is P hat plus or minus Z star times the standard error. Okay, we haven't found the standard error yet. We've got these other two numbers, so let's find our standard error. Standard error is P hat Q hat over N, which is the square root of 0.48 times 0.52 divided by 1029 or 1029, and that equals, carry the 1, drop that, let's see, second square root 0.48 times 0.52 divided by 1029, 0.01557, so I'm going to make that 0.016. Okay, so now we have, plug in what we know, my confidence interval with the 98th confidence level is 0.48 plus or minus Z star, which is 2.236 times 0.016. When we add this and we subtract this, we get 0.444 and 0.516. Okay, so that leads us to our conclusion. It's a 98% confidence level, so we say we are 98% confident back to our parameter, the true proportion of U.S. adults who say they often or always got enough sleep the past 7 nights falls or lies or is between 44.4% and 51.6%. And there we go. There's a 4 right there. That's 4 out of 4 points on the AP exam. We stated our conditions. We named our test that we were going to do, a 1 proportion Z interval. We showed our calculations and how we're going to find it. We found our interval. And then we stated our conclusion in context, the true proportion of US adults. We named our confidence interval, and we showed our interval that it falls between those two. Always list the smaller number first. I hope that helps.